All right, guys, let's talk about arc length. How far are you going to be able to travel around the arc of a circle? Now, you would have studied this already in geometry, and one geometry formula they've given you is going to be, let's say, S equals n divided by 360 degrees over 2 pi r. And that's a formula you got to play with in geometry, and really what it's doing is you have a circle and you have your radius, and say they give you something like your central angle here, let's call that through 195 degrees, and they want to know what is the total distance traveled from this point to this point. So let's say point A to point B, and all you do is plug in your distance of your radius. Let's say that's 7. You would just plug in 7 here, plug in 195 here, and chug out a number, and that will give you your arc length. Really, that's all we're going to do. However, there is a different formula that we're going to use, and it's really going to be based on, if you're given a degree, I would use this formula. But if you're given your central angle in terms of a radian, you can just use the simplified version of S equals r theta, where theta is your central angle. Now, if you remember from geometry, when we're talking about circles, your central angle is this part right here. It's the part just in the middle of the circle, is coming from the center of the circle with your two rays. Here, this n is when your central angle, this is in radians, and your n here is your central angle in degrees. So you have two different formulas. They're really the same formula, because if you look here, you have a 2 pi and a 360, and if you watch the video on conversions, this will actually just this will simplify down to, you're going to do a conversion, no matter what, you're going to have pi over 180, which is one of our conversion factors. All right, so let's work some examples here. All right, so I have 3 examples here. I have a circle that has a radius of 9 miles, and I tell you the central angle is 3 pi over 4, and I want to know what S is. Well, in this case, we're going to use a very simple formula. S equals r theta. My theta is my central angle, my r is my radius, so my length is going to be 9 miles times 3 pi over 4 radiuses, or radians. So my arc length is simply going to be 27 pi over 4 miles. So if I walk from this point all the way over to this point, on that arc I would walk 27 pi over 4. Now I want exact answers. When I want a decimal, I will tell you where to round it to. If I do not tell you where to round it to, you need to leave it in terms of pi. All right, so here we have another one. I want to know the distance from here to here on the arc length. I have a radius of 2 inches and a rotation of 70 degrees. Well, I'm going to use the formula S equals n divided by 360 degrees over 2 pi r. I'm just simply going to plug everything in. 70 degrees over 360 degrees times 2 pi times 2. Well, my zeros cancel. This gives me 7 over 36 times 4 pi. 4 goes into 36 9 times. So the final answer here is going to be 7 over 9, or 7 pi over 9 inches, because my radius is in inches. So this total length right here is 7 pi over 9 inches long. All right, this last one here, I want to know what the central angle is. I'm going to say degrees and radians. And I give you the radius and I give you the arc length. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the simple formula S equals r theta and find it in radians first. So I know my S is 13 pi over 4, and this equals my radius, which is 3 theta. Well, I divide both sides by 3. I know my theta is 13 pi over 12. Well, there's my answer in radians. Now to convert it to degrees, all I do is I have my 13 pi over 12 times my conversion factor of 180 degrees over pi. My pi is canceled. When you do the math, you should get 195 degrees. So to travel 13 pi over 4 when the radius is 3 meters, you're going to have to rotate 195 degrees, or you're going to have to travel 13 pi pi over 12 meters. However you want to look at it. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.